Hey, good morning. Good morning. We are going to do a special day that works the ankle joint, the hip joint, especially the hip joint. Because as you know, if the hips are locked up, then your knees actually don't feel really good at all. But we're going to do a warm-up breath here just to start out. Standing, because there's some deep bends in it. Let's just take a shoulder roll, forward, up, back, and down. Big breath in, big breath out. Oh, one more of those. And we're actually going to warm the body a little bit standing, and then we'll go more towards the seated arena. So take the arms wide, make a little circle going forward. Just notice how that feels. If there's some tiredness, let's breathe in, breathe out, make a wide stance, hold your ground. Bring the fingertips together overhead. A big inhale, so the hands are flat to the sky. If you can see mine, they're flat to the sky. Full breath in, full breath out. Lengthen the side bodies. It's really easy to poke the ribs forward. In fact, I'm doing that a little bit. So you want to pull pelvic floor in and the ribs towards your hip. You can see I just did that. And we'll bring the arms back down, blood flow. And then again, some shoulder rolls forward or back, up, forward and down. And then extend the arms out once again. Do little circles in the opposite direction. I think I went back, so I'm going forward this time. I don't know, I can't remember. Breathe in, breathe out, wide stance with the feet, strong, confident stance to wake up with. Be all in today. Let's take point fingers down, bringing the back of the hands together, back of the wrist together. Breathe in, breathe out, and exhale, release the arms again. Shrug, shoulders up and shrug down. And we'll do that with the breath. So it's an inhale through the nose, exhale with a ha, 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 ha. Two, ha. One, ha. Just take the neck around. Easy. Spin. We'll spend a time on the neck in a moment. We're going to take a nice wide stance with the feet, wider than your mat. So the toes are going to turn out. We'll take goddess pose. This is Gasa breathing. So it's actually bringing in chi or prana and allowing that life force to flow through you. So I want you to think about the energy in your hands that you possess. We all are energy beings. We don't need to dispute that there is electric energy inside us, magnetic energy. We are just like the earth, magnetic in its polarization. We're just like the sun, electric in its rays shining down. So electromagnetic energy. Beings are we, yeah. And we have 70% water. All that energy moves through with the blood flow and in fluid that resides in our body. Okay, I don't want to be arguing that point. It's a mute point. So energy, can we feel it? Can we listen in and get a little more intuitive into our body and actually feel that? What we'll do is take the hands and we'll bring them together and then apart and through the legs as we go forward. So there's a couple of motions you can watch once. The first one is gathering the breath in, overhead. So we go gather the energy, not the breath, energy in. So it's a breath in. And then inhale, then bringing it down towards the heart. Exhale out. Turn the feet so they're pointing forward. Bring the hands through the legs, back up with a slight bend in the knee. Inhale, up, and then exhale. Bring the chi back down towards the belly, and then we'll repeat it. Inhale, arms overhead with me. Exhale into goddess pose. Inhale, float through. Coming up. And exhale, let it settle. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, goddess pose. Inhale. The legs come up. Exhale, let it settle. Go 2 more at your own pace. Inhale. Arms overhead. Stretch, gathering the chi. Exhale. Inhale. Through the legs, up. And exhale, back down. Inhale. Overhead. Exhale, down. Inhale. Over. Exhale. Inhale, up. And exhale, settle. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down. Take a chi position. Press the arms out. Inhale, exhale through. I'm just slowing it down a little bit. Bend the knees. Inhale, come up. And exhale, settle. Nice. Just pause. Notice how you feel. Chi, the movement of energy flowing through us and around us. And then bring it to the floor. We'll cross the left leg in front. So I'll be mirroring you this first part. Right leg in front. I'll be mirroring you first part of class. And you can take something and sit on it, a block or a pillow or a blanket, as I have. Just going to start with some movement through the spine, up and over. You can take this at your own pace. Inhale generally is coming up. Exhale is generally going over. But if you switch the breathing, that's fine. And exhale. Let's go one more. Plugging into the earth, both fingers. Tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale, lift the sternum. Lift your gaze and then bring the chin up to the sky. Exhale, down to the chest. Inhale up to the sky. Don't drop your head back. Lift it up. Exhale, chin to the chest. Don't drop it forward. Bring the chin to the chest. Chest is still open. And do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. The full range of motion. Bring the head in line with the shoulder, and we'll just tip it to the right. And if you like, you can take your left hand and bring it around. That really ignites a little more energy through the shoulder. And then one more thing, you can bring the right hand around to the top of the head and give a gentle pressure of the head into the hand. Open it up. It's not hand into the head. You're not pushing down. You're actually pushing up. I love that one. That's my favorite. 2 more breaths. You want to feel a little release through the neck area. And if this is too much, of course, unwind the arm or take the pressure off the head into the hand. Just tilt the head, and then you're moving it in a direction that feels best to you. Now we're going to drop the chin to the chest and roll it in a half roll. There's a lot of little joints and muscle in the neck here, so take it slow. We're coming back again. One more time, one more pass. Chin to chest, over to the left. And back again. Bring the head onto the shoulders, straight vertical. Give it a little shake out. Arms overhead. And then we're going to twist to the right. We'll do that second set in a moment. Looking front, inhale. Exhale, looking back. Inhale, looking forward. Take your eyes all the way to the periphery. See if you can look actually in the direction behind your shoulder. And the same thing when you look back. Look behind your shoulder. One more time. So we're really challenging our eyeball and the muscles in the eye. And release it back to center. Take a rocking action forward. And a rocking action back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. With the arms, we'll move wide and exhale, hug. Inhale. Open the arms, exhale, hug. Twice more. Good. And then right here, the leg that's in front, and it doesn't matter if it's left or right, it's going to come forward. So we're making kind of a half diamond. A half diamond. Oh, actually looks like the letter G. But it's a half diamond with the right leg coming forward. Let's scoot back here so my ankle's on the mat. And we're just going to lean forward. Really flex the foot. Open it up here. Pick the left leg and just butterfly. So we're going to keep both feet very active. Side of the foot, blade of the foot pressing into the floor. And pulse, 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 pulse. And press it down. So it anchored and lean forward one more time. What we want to do is get the movement to happen in the hip, not the knees. Movement happen. Good. And then lean back. Take the legs all the way out front, straight. Shake it out. Rock and roll the feet, and then rotate through the ankle. Both directions. And then bring the opposite leg in front if you're going to cross. Through the hip. A little closer to the heel. Inhale, raise the heart. Exhale, take the fingers out. Again, earthing mudra, Bhu Mudra. This class goes a little bit slower. You want to be more comfortable in the postures. There will be a couple that we take that will hold for more than a minute, more than 2 minutes, actually 3. We're going to tilt the head to the left. Make sure that your left shoulder's not coming up. Mine wants to rise up a little bit. Pull it down. So there's going to be space between each ear and shoulder, but more so on the right side. Right arm comes around here, or it can hold the elbow. That's a really nice place to stay. Or you could take the left arm all the way up around top of the head, press the head into the hand. So there's a lot of variations. Pick one that feels right to you. Feel supportive. Full breath in, full breath out. Again, we're holding for a little bit longer. Really want to feel some release, some relaxation across the span that we're opening here through the neck, from your ear all the way down to the shoulder. One more breath. And you're gently going to release the head. Drop the chin. So I'm turning the nose slightly towards shoulder. Drop the chin to the chest. All the way over to the other side. And drop chin to chest. Back again. Let's take one more pass. All the way over to your right. Chin to chest to the left. And then back to center. Give it a little shake, bobblehead. Shake it out. Arms overhead. Inhale, exhale. Let's twist it to the left this time. If I'm mirroring you, to be to the left, we're going to look forward and take your eye all the way to the corner and look past the periphery. Exhale to the back side, same thing, the opposite direction. With the eyes, inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale. And exhale, take it a little bit deeper. Not forcing, but you do want to feel something here. And back to center. This time we'll take the left leg, or the leg that's now in front. If that's different for you, that's fine. And bring it in a wide diamond shape. So it's out front, this one's here. In fact, let's take this leg, hug the calf to the hamstring, and as a unit, move the leg, open the knee. So this is opening because the hip joint, or the femur bone in the hip joint, is rotating. That's what we want to feel. Now with the knee a little bit wider here, it's going to affect your IT band. We're just going to flow forward. Keep the feet active and pressing the blade of the foot into the earth. And that ignites some flame all the way up my leg on the outside, all the way into the hip. You may feel it there, you may feel it in a different spot, but that's where my tightness is. That's where, well, the IT band for sure is going to get a little bit of a stretch here. Come back. We'll make sure the blade of the foot on your right foot is steady, and then give a little pulse action in the hip socket. And press it all the way down. Lean forward one more time. Keep the blades active in the feet activated. Full breath in, full breath out. And bring it all the way back up. We're going to shake the legs out once again. Now you may want your blocks or a pillow for this next entry. I'm going to take my blocks and place them in T-shape. I'm going to come to the side here. And then we'll do a half. I'll take my right leg back first. You can see from this side I'm doing. Now, if my sit bones are not steady on the earth, you may want to bring a block or some height. So that actually evens out my sit bones. That feels so much better to me. I'm pressing the pinky toe into the earth, and then I'm going to bend the left knee so the heel connects. And I'm just going to lay back until I feel a stretch through the quad area. And if you want, you can lay all the way back. If you've got the blocks here, I'm just going to pop that up. 1. It's not for everybody to lay all the way back. If your knee starts to bob up, you're putting too much pressure on the knee. You want to keep the whole shin to the earth, the whole top of the foot. And we open up the ways through the sides of the body and the hip flexor as well. Going to really work that hip flexor. But if you're here on the elbows or even on the hands, you're in a great spot. And if you're propped up on a block to support the knee, if you've got knee issues, the way to start out in this posture is to have a block so that height takes the pressure off of the knee. So instead of saying, "What, I can't do that," let's just figure out what you can do. This is perfectly legit. You're getting the whole benefit. And then we're beginning to move in a direction that the body can and was meant to move. We just don't move that way often, and so it becomes difficult. Right. All right, let's slow and gentle. If you're all the way back, come up onto your elbows and then your hands. We're going to release that. Shift the weight over to your left side. So we want to free the right leg out and bring it straight forward. So now we've got a half diamond here. Draw the left foot in. Inhale the arm straight up and exhale, take it forward. Inhale, bring it back up. We're going to plant the left hand behind you. Right arm's going to go up. Then you're going to shift and take it into a wild thing. Child, I don't know what you call it, intermediate wild thing. Bring the hips all the way back down. Inhale the arms overhead. And exhale, take it forward. And you could place a block. This does not have to be big. It just needs to be thoughtful at your own pace between those two postures here. You use your hands for support if that hurts your lower back. If you have slip disc, you're just going to lean forward here. Full support, the spine extending. And you'll plant the hand, bring it back around, press the heel into the earth. Inhale, and I'm going to show you what it looks like with each breath. Exhale forward. Inhale up. Exhale forward. And you can take this at your own pace. We'll do about 3 or 4 more. Make sure the standing hand isn't taking a lot of pressure in the wrist. So that hand plants way back. Shoulder is behind the wrist. And down. Let's do 1 more. Up, over, inhale, sweeping motion. Exhale, forward and hold. And then inhale, let's come back up to center. Take the bent knee up and over the straight leg. And we'll take it into another twist. It's like a taffy pull this morning. And all things are going to be on the ground, really not getting off the floor today. Let's unwind, bring it forward, and it will the opposite direction. And back to center, both legs straighten, shake it out, plant the fingers, So they're facing the outside wall, bend the knee, raise into an inverted table. Inhale. Exhale, tap down. Inhale. Lift the hips. Exhale. Tap down one more time. Inhale, lifting. Such a great stretch across the chest. Exhale, lower. And then we'll take the left leg behind. Right leg comes straight out. Now again, if the sit bones are feel unsteady or you can't feel both sit bones to the ground, prop your spine. We know the lay of the land. Now we can take it a little bit quicker. I'm going to support my back and lower all the way back, but you don't have to lower all the way down. I'm going to bend the right knee and bring the foot to the knee, to the left knee. And lay back. Where you feel this the most, quite possibly, is in the front side of the left leg, your quadricep. And as I come back on the elbow, that knee wants to lift. Don't let it lift. We're pressing down from the pinky toe all the way up to the knee and laying back here with full breath in, full breath out. Once you get all the way laying down, this is a little bit more relaxed because I've got the support. You need to build up that support or stay here. Try to press the whole front side of the shin into the floor to magnify, tuck the tailbone, magnify what you're feeling in the quad. And if you're not feeling this a whole lot, it's your hip flexor as well. You could take it all the way to the ground. It's an option. Stay here, wherever you're at. I'm just showing options. See how my knee likes to come up right here? So this early in the morning, it's probably not quite the right support for me. So I'll come up on my elbows. Two more breaths. Now we're going to come out of this gingerly. So first onto the elbows and onto the hands. If you were on the hands, then you're just coming upright. Shift the weight all the way to the right. So we free up the knee and let all that energy flow, blood flow, come right back into it. And then I'm going to bring my foot into an L shape. Walk the heels on the ground. Inhale, sitting tall, leaning over towards the shin. Right leg. Take it forward. There's a lot of movement happening in the hip here versus the waist. Oh, and then back up and sweep the right arm up and over, planting. And we'll raise it up. If we want to take a full circle with the arm and bring the hip back down, that's an option. Inhale up, exhale over. Inhale, lift. Exhale, plant and raise. Full breath in. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, raise the hand. Exhale, forward. You're going between the two. Take this as fast or as slow as you'd like. I'm going a little bit slower. I want to concentrate on the breath. Exhale, with each movement, there's a breath in or a breath out. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Two more. Make it rhythmic. at your own pace. And if you're doing more than 2 or less than 2, it's totally up to you. Take it slow enough that you're not getting injured and that you're preparing well. Opening up. This knee could take a lot if we're not careful. Make sure we're not doing that. We'll bring the right foot up and over the left knee, give it a hug, and now we're twisting. Full breath in, full breath out. The sacrum part down here at the base of your spine, you want to push that in and up and feel both sit bones very firm into the floor. Kickstand the hand behind, that's going to help support you. And we'll release that. Both arms coming up and open to the other side. Inhale back to center. Shake both legs out. Bend the knees, fingertips towards the side, and lift the hips. And just put your out of the wrist. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. We're going to get into some deep low lunge movement. So our apex pose, and we'll be holding it for a little bit. Cross your feet. Let's come all the way forward onto the hands and knees. Inhale to a cat-cow. Exhale. Inhale, deep movement through the spine, and exhale. Inhale, extension, exhale, flexion. And then take it forward and back into child's. Inhale forward, lift the feet. Tone the navel. That's going into a cobra or an upward facing dog. It's not quite either one. But a range of movement through the spine. Last time, coming forward. Toes turn under, downward facing dog. Just pedal out the feet. This is our first big stretch for the calf. Oh, and then come forward. Bring the knees to the floor, all the way down to the earth. And shake, wiggle the hips out. Slide the elbows forward underneath the shoulder. You're actually in a sphinx pose. Now this could be problematic on your low back. If it is, just lower the head all the way to the earth. And the way to come out of the low back is to tone the navel, press the pubic bone down, take your sit bones back, and then all of a sudden your back has this release. You're going to bend the right knee, cross your left hand diagonally over the mat so you've got support, and take a hold of the right foot. Alternatively, you could bring the forehead to the floor. In fact, I really like that option. Heel to the glute and really concentrate on the quad stretch. Open you up. Full breath in, full breath out. If you are up here, options for the hand are to bring it forward over the toes. That's pretty intense for me today. I haven't stretched my quads, obviously, for a long time. And let's release that leg. Shake the hips. If your head's on the ground, this is a great place to start. Bend your left knee. Reach behind, clasp the foot, top of the foot, bring the heel to the glute. Lengthen all the way out from the top of the hip flexor, so on top of the hip, all the way down to the tip of the knee. Big muscle there, it's your quad. Full breath in, full breath out. And then release it. all the way down, bend the knees, shake the hips side to side. And let's come into a low cobra. We're going to keep the feet on the ground, tops of the feet down. Bring your arms out wide. I like the spider leg scenario here. Shoulder blades on the back. Raise the head, neck, and shoulders and squeeze the shoulder blades on the back. Tone the navel. You could come up as high or as low as you'd like. Your gaze is straight forward. Chin is tucked in, not out. And then lower back down, lengthening ribs and chest and chin. Shake the hips. We'll do it one more time. Rooting down through the pads of the fingers. Squeeze the shoulder blades onto the back, not upward, but down. So you're like trying to put them in your back pocket. Lats are working, squeezing. And you raise up. Everything should be out of your low back. And really your arms are taking the brunt of this posture. 2 or 3 breaths. Lower back down. Reaching the ribs forward, reaching the heart forward, reaching the chin forward. Yeah. Bend the knees, take it side to side. And then we're going to bring the right knee. Might be a little bit hard to see from that angle, but the right knee into a 90-degree angle. Right knee into the 90-degree angle. We're going to take your left leg off the mat to the side. So it's still straight. Got the toes on the earth. And I'm scooting that leg a little bit wider. Coming up into Sphinx. I'm going to reach with or bend the left knee. That might be as far as you go. Next option is to bring the left arm through the right arm. Okay, that might be as far as you go. And then I'm going to roll all the way over and take the right hand to the left foot. Oh, and the shoulders now are open to the sky. That is a pretty intense stretch for me. You could bring bolsters or blocks behind you to lay onto, make this supportive. Holding. Lower half of the belly, lower half of the torso is twisting. Hand on the knee will help facilitate that, but you don't have to. And do what feels appropriate and good to you. Roll the head side to side. Make sure there's no tension here. And we're going to come out the same way we came in. So release the foot. The right arm all the way up, over, pull legs and free up the arm, or come back into Sphinx pose. Shake the hips side to side. Lower the whole torso to the mat and rest the spine. So in between right and left, I want to neutralize the spine. And we'll take it to the second side. Coming up onto Sphinx. Left knee to a 90-degree angle. Take the toe to the earth on the right side and just simply bring the right leg. The further out to the side it is, the more your twist will happen. We're going to bend the right knee here. Thread the right arm through the left It's your left arm as you press down through the this back side of the right arm to open. It's the left arm that comes around and clasps the foot. We're gonna roll all the way open to the sky so you get to see it from the other angle. Full breath in, full breath out. And the object isn't to bring the shoulders down, but you're moving that direction. It doesn't have to happen. The object is to really feel the release in the low back, the twist in the waist, upper torso, and the back. Breathe into those areas that feel like they're really stuck, solid, like immobile. When the fascia is repeatedly used in a particular way, it likes to stay in that shape. And when you move it out of the shape, it's like complains. So if you're feeling some complaint from the body, just love it, breathe into it. We're almost done. You're doing such a great job. 2 more breaths here. And slowly release the foot. You're going to roll back onto the belly. Release the arm. The whole torso laying down. I feel neutralization of the spine. Bring the hands next to the chest. Pull the belly in. You're going to rock the tailbone towards the back wall. So you've got some connection in the belly to press back up and into a child's pose. It's slow with that. It can actually be a little vinyasa. You're really paying attention to what's happening in the body here. Bring it into a downward facing dog. Coming forward into plank. Back into downward dog. We're reaching the apex pose, the pose that we're really working towards, which is a low lunge, lizard lunge. Bring the right leg to the sky on an inhale. Bend the knee, open the hip. And then a big long circle. We're going to step the right leg outside the right fingertips. But as you come forward, lands all the way to the top of the mat. Let your hips descend, push through the top of the foot, and then pulse forward and back. And some friends are going to really want to use a block inside the ankle. And then press the front leg straight. Now I've got a pretty long stretch here. It doesn't have to be that wide, but eventually we're working towards a leap, a Hanuman leap. One more time. And as you bring the back knee to the floor, use something underneath the knee, double your mat, or use a blanket. That feels so much better. We're going to raise up and create a 90-degree bend in this knee, a 90-degree bend in this knee. So it comes forward slightly. So the hips are neutral, hands on either side. I'm not tilting the hips back, and I'm not rounding the hips forward. Very neutral. Keep it neutral. Press through the front heel. And then bring the hips forward. Neutral. Keep it neutral. Don't dump, don't dump, don't dump. So you probably can't go as far forward. Your knee is more vertical. So walk the foot forward slightly, hands to the thigh. This can be very powerful on that front leg and fatiguing as well. Left arm to the sky. If you'd like to take the opposite arm to the sky, pull the ribs in. You're going to hold this with your belly. and the strength of the front leg. Like full breath in, full breath out. And then straighten the front leg. Slide the forward just a little bit more. Dig the heel in and bring the hand to the block, inside or outside. Doesn't matter. Dig the heel into the floor. Half split. I'm going to slide that heel forward just a little bit more. Dig the heel in. And we'll come into our lizard pose. So the whole side of the foot, sole of the foot into the floor. Walk your foot off to the side. And bring your elbow onto the block. Or you can remain upright. That's awesome. Remain upright, either one, or bring the elbow to the floor. There's all kinds of options. So experiment just a little bit. I'll talk you through some options and find the one that's best for you. Taking the hand inside the right knee and the navel. So the support here comes from the ground up, from the midsection, from the energy happening in your core. And we're going to straighten the leg back to center, bend the back knee. And this might be as far as you go. That's certainly fine. And take the right arm forward, all the way around, clasp the top of the foot and bring it in. This is easier if you're upright with opposite hand to foot. There's another quad stretch. It doesn't have to be as well. And then take it back into Hanumanasana. Slide the right heel forward. Now this time we're going to kickstand the back knee, walk the hands out to the side and hold in like a downward facing gate pose. Inhale, walk it back up to center. Now you're going to see the back side here as I take it up. Leg is straight out, heels pressing into the earth. And it is Parigasana, gate pose. Inhale back to center, plant the right hand, kickstand the left, and come into side plank. Stretching the arm up and over. Inhale here, bend the knee, clasp the top of the foot and press straight back. Release and come back up, over, straight leg, bend, and step it all the way back, downward facing dog. Oh, that's big, big movement. Second side. That's it. Last side. I want you to feel the difference between your right, left hip, left leg to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip, rotate through the ankle. And if you need to cut out early, make sure you're even on both sides and that you have Savasana, or you come back to this later. So the back knee is going to elevate. We're shifting or pulse action forward and back. Now that we know the lay of the land, we can go a little bit deeper. Mind out all nation. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Here, exhale. You're just waking up the posterior chain. Eventually bringing the back knee gently to the floor. I'll open up through the heart. And we're going to pull the hip back, making 90-degree angle in both front knee and back knee. Hands to the hip. And then come forward. I'm probably not going to come this far forward. I don't want reaching forward faster than your hip and belly. The belly is toned, moving back, and the hip is moving forward. Just to the point where you start to, it doesn't have to go very far. You keep both hands on the front thigh. That gives you a little more support. Both arms to the sky, or one thigh, one to the sky. 2 more breaths. Oh, you can even clasp the elbows and take that over to the side. I like it. Back to center, straighten the front leg, hands to the block. And then tip the toes up, glide the heel forward, push the heel into the floor and pull the sit bone back. Really opening up through the hip flexor, or through the You can bend as far forward as you like. Use of the block is optional. And come back into your low lunge. Lizards. We'll walk the right foot to the off the side of the mat. Sorry, left foot. Form to a block. And I'm going to take the left hand inside the left knee and gently coax it open. So I'm pulling the chest away from the knee. Bend the back knee. Straighten out the front leg so the shin is vertical. You're going to reach back. Clasp the foot to the hand. Hand to foot. It does help to be up on the block. And you may or may not reach the foot. That's just fine. Really doesn't matter. What matters is that you're feeling this through the hip flexor. You've got some power rooting down into the floor. We're not in collapse. So with great support and ease. And some friends will be all the way onto the floor with their form. It's totally up to you. And we're going to release it. Straighten the front leg back out. That heel forward. So I'm really upright. Walk the hands to the diagonal. And bow in. So this is more on the inner thigh. I feel a big charge right here through the inner thigh. You guys are going to feel like magic when we're all done. This is a beautiful practice. And we come back to it over and over again with your intense cardio workouts. We walk the hands back to center and upright. So we have a gate to go through the gate. Part over. Inhale back to vertical. Plant the right hand, lift the left leg, and then reach left arm and left leg away from each other. Big stretch. Inhale, bend the knee, clasp the foot, and open into bow pose. My favorite, one of my favorite. It doesn't feel good in your low back if your ribs are relaxed. You got to pull them in. Yeah, really create some support for that low back. So if you're feeling pain in your low back, the cause of that pain is in general a weak front side or the core is cooperating. So really watch for that. See if you can tone, dropping the tailbone, and that's going to help support. Let's go back to center. Both hands to the floor, bend the knee and step back into downward facing dog. Was it? That was the whole thing. You did so great. We're going to slowly make your way onto your back. You can walk the hands forward, walk the feet forward, walk the hands back, come to seated. And then make your way onto your backside. I know. Make this comfortable. So I like to unfold my blanket here. Sorry. There we go. Okay, more for you, more for me. Then we pull out, hug the knees into the chest. Get a little circle. And we'll take our final posture, happy baby. The feet are pressing up into the hands pressing down into the feet. Give it just maybe even a playful baby. Or a wide angle baby, 1 foot and then the other. Lots of options there. I love this pose. There's so many variations that are helpful. And it's very releasing for the low back, which we worked pretty strongly. Let's stretch the legs all forward, arms overhead, full body extension, and then let your feet relax a little wider. Your arms come down to your side. And shake the head or roll the head. It's not a shake, it's a roll. Release any tension in the neck and shoulders. And what I like to do for my neck is to place a fist on the forehead, push like I'm trying to come up when pushing the head into the forehead, or hand into the forehead, and then release, and then do the opposite, and that's push the head back, raise the heart, hold it for a breath or two, and then release, and then once again roll the head. I seem to get greater range of motion, just seating the head back into a full socket. Coming into Shavasana now, full 5 minutes. I'm gonna let you pause or stay here for as long as you like. Even a 10-minute Shavasana is so helpful for the body, so pleasant. The antidote to the stress of the day. And if you can allow yourself the opportunity to release and relax for 10 minutes, I would seriously set a timer. Once you get into that relaxed spot, you're not going to want to come out. You're going to want to just allow your whole body to release and relax. When you get into that state, it's soothing to the body, rejuvenating to the body. So take that as long as you'd like. Namaste.